Last month, I crashed my Lotus Europa on the racetrack. The car was badly damaged. The chassis is bent, the body is beyond repair, and a large part of the rear suspension needs to be replaced. But crashing a race car is one thing, rebuilding is another. So in this video, we are going to find out what it costs to put this car back on the racetrack. I'm going to count every part, every bill, and every hour of work, and compare what this rebuild would cost me doing it myself to what I'd have to pay for a professional workshop. And I think the final number might surprise you. At least, it surprised me. But before we take this car apart, there's actually something else I need to show you. A few weeks ago, I bought this dismantled Lotus Europa. At first, the plan was pretty simple. This car was supposed to be a parts donor for my rebuild. And the parts which I wouldn't need could be flipped to help the rebuild budget. But since this Europa used to be a race car in the period between 1973 and 1977, and it came with a surprising amount of original parts and documentation, I started looking into it. The deeper I dive into the history, the more interesting it gets for me. I don't want to give too much away yet, because I'm going to make a separate video about this car in the future, since I'm still in the process of piecing together its racing history. But let's just say, I no longer want to sell excess spare parts which I don't need to bring the green car back to the racetrack. For now though, I take one step at a time and start with what's left of the green car and how I plan to bring it back to the racetrack. So back to the green Lotus. Before I can rebuild it, I first need to find out what I actually have left. The first step was to completely strip the car down and inspect every component. The good news is that not everything was destroyed in the crash. Engine and gearbox survived, most of the electrics is still usable, and most of the smaller components can simply be cleaned, checked, and put back into service. But the parts that took the impact are a different story. The body is beyond repair. It had been repaired in the past at least 5 times. With each repair, the underlying condition got worse and the body got heavier from filler and additional paint layers. Maybe a few parts can be cut out as spares for the future. But since the nose was completely torn off in the crash, I'll write this body off. I thought about repairing the left front tubular wishbones, but I never want to crash again because of a suspension failure. I will definitely renew the bent parts. The shock absorber is fine, same with the upright. The rear left suspension could also be fixed, but I'm aiming for a change of concept here. I will get rid of the long radius arms and go for a triangular double wishbone setup. That increases the costs, but it should also increase the safety by a huge margin. The chassis is bent in the front and the rear. I will cut out huge chunks and put panels from a new aftermarket chassis in place. I purchased this chassis second-hand but unused in Germany. Last but not least, there are wheels and all the other small parts you don't really think about after a crash. Bearings, joints, hoses, fasteners, brackets, and countless other parts. So let's put some numbers on all of this. I have made a complete list of parts and materials I need for the rebuild. And I'm going to split these into 3 categories. New parts, used parts, and the parts that I have to fabricate myself. Let's start with the new parts. At the moment, I'm just over 4,100 euros. That includes the new front suspension components, steering parts, bearings, cooling components, 2 new wheels, and various other smaller parts. And then there are the used parts. The biggest items here are the Spider chassis and the second Europa race car that I mainly bought for its body. Including transportation costs, I'm currently at just over 7,000 euros for used parts and components. The last category is a little different. The new rear suspension I'm planning to build isn't available as an off-the-shelf solution. So it seems that I'm going to have to design and manufacture most of it myself. I have estimated around 2,260 euros for the materials, CNC machined aluminum uprights, unibolts, welding, tools and consumables. So, adding everything up, I'm currently looking at 4,104 euros for new parts, 7,058 euros for used parts, and another estimated 2,260 euros for the new rear suspension. That gives me a current total for parts and materials of 13,422 euros. But there's one important thing that I want to point out here. This is not just the cost of replacing damaged parts. A significant chunk of that money is going into changing the car's rear suspension concept. A triangular double wishbone rear setup replaces the original trailing arm design. So some of this money is not really repair costs. It's money I'm deliberately investing into making the car better and hopefully safer than it was before the crash. But the parts are only half the story. The other half is labor. So far, I have spent around 20 hours actually working on the green Lotus, stripping it down, inspecting the damage, and figuring out what can be reused. Based on my experience, I estimate another 90 to 110 hours for the rebuild itself. And I'm adding another 20 hours for the manufacturing of the new rear suspension from scratch. So currently, I'm expecting around 130 to 150 hours of actual work on the car, including the work I've already executed. Now, most of that won't show up as a bill because I'm doing the work myself. But just to put that number into perspective, a specialist race workshop might charge around 200 euros per hour for this kind of work. I'm almost certain that depending on the company, the hourly rate can easily go as high as 400 euro. But for argument's sake, let's continue with 200. A professional team would probably be somewhat faster than me, so I am assuming around 20% fewer working hours. But that would still add up to roughly 20,800 to 24,000 euros in labor alone. Let that sink in. And that's before buying a single part. So suddenly, those 13,422 euros in parts don't look quite so bad anymore. So let's put everything together. For the parts and materials, I'm currently at 13,422 euros. And if my estimate for the remaining work is roughly correct, a professional race workshop would charge another 20,800 to 24,000 euros for the labor. So that puts the cost of a professional rebuild somewhere between 34,200 and 37,400 euros. And that's without any unexpected problems along the way. Of course, that's not what I'm actually going to spend. I'm doing most of the work myself, so my actual costs will be significantly lower. From here on, I'll be documenting the rebuild as it happens. There are many months to go until I'm finally back on the racetrack. But there is another story I want to explore alongside the rebuild. The second Europa I showed you at the beginning of this video. I bought it as a parts donor, but the more I learn about its history, the more I'm convinced that this car deserves a little bit more attention. It raced in the period between 1973 and 1977. And I still have a lot of questions about the races and what happened to it afterwards. I'm glad that I'm in contact with the former driver Werner Klee. So while one Europa is being rebuilt for the future, I'll be digging into the past of the other one. And who knows where that story is going to lead us. For now though, the goal is simple. Getting the green car back on the track. And finding out what the other Europa's next chapter could look like.